Welcome to another episode of Will It Work? This week I have the Telstar Gemini, which is not a Pong system actually, but it's in that same genre. There was a number of video pinball machines that had come out. The Gemini was one of them. Atari had made video pinball, and Telegames copied it, of course, Sears. And so like these video pinball was sort of an evolution that was going to happen between Pong and you know whatever came next. There was also a shooting gallery, which some of the Pong games had. But on the whole, you know, these weren't very elaborate systems. Now, this runs on an adapter, but I believe it could also run on battery. Yep, there's a battery slide here, made by Coleco. Back when they used to you could just go to that place and be like, hey, my thing doesn't work, fix it. Which would be cool if you could do that today. There's some sort of, what is that? That's probably which channel you want to broadcast this on. What if I switch that, if it's going to explode on me here or something, because the channel I currently have it on isn't the best. I can't even reach in there to switch it. Let me see now if I can. 1 second. Yeah, I was trying to see. I've already plugged this one in because a lot of these, making a whole video about something that completely doesn't work, that's like our Pong system, would not be that interesting, especially in the early days. But, you know, some of these other ones I definitely will just plug in and we'll see if it sparks and catches fire. Didn't want to make something that was just completely a letdown, though. This one does work, but it's, you know, the thing about a lot of these old systems is they're not recapped, okay? I didn't go through and recap all these or anything like that, you know, put new capacitors in place. So, you know, you're talking about capacitors that are 40 to 50 years old. And, you know, realistically, they're just not going to be in great shape. Usually what goes first are, you know, sound, you know, speakers and things like that tend to use a lot of that. And then, you know, a lot of the control mechanisms will be stiff, or the contacts will, you know, because back then they didn't really use micro switches so much. You know, it was just whatever they came up with that was inventive to make it so you could push a button to do something, etc., you know, move a switch. So, yeah, you know, a lot of these aren't going to be great. And I know that. But, you know, the thing is like, am I going to recap this? You know, I'm never going to play it. You know what I mean? And then the caps are just going to sit there and get old again. And so it's sort of like, kind of just want to make sure that they work. And then I'll put them back into storage. And then one day, if I decide to sell it, you know, I might want to sell it as original and let somebody else cap it if they wanted to. Or maybe I'd cap it if I think I can get more money for it or something. I'm not sure. It just depends, you know, if it's really worth it or not. You know, there's some things like this sticker that's raised up here. I would probably glue that back down. And, you know, I would clean it a little bit better. Maybe open it up and then try and get the buttons so that they're functional. You know, so somebody feels like they got something good. But changing like the original like electronics inside, even with just caps, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'd necessarily want to do that because sometimes collectors want things to be all original. Of course, they also want them to work. So it's a trade-off. All right, so I did change. I went through a lot of agony. I built a recording station out of a Lat Panda, which is kind of like almost like a Raspberry Pi, except it's Intel 86, 64-bit OS, Windows 10. And then I connected a Hauppauge HDMI encoder. But for these, I can't use HDMI, right? It's all RF. So I had a Win TV HVR, also made by Hauppauge, that originally you could use that on the Xbox 360 to get television to come in over the air. So I just happen to have one. I forget how I got it. I don't think I bought it. Maybe I did, but I think it was cheap. It was like a discount or something. So I installed that on the PC, and luckily it does do analog channels because almost nothing does anymore. And I'm running it now into a monitor. So I'm going to show you the display. It's still going to be very staticky because it's you know, converting the RF signal into a digital one on the screen, but we should get no more of those scan lines that we've been seeing previously. I could, of course, record the screen and put that directly into the video editor. I may do that for certain ones, you know, some of the later consoles, etc. So you guys get a better idea of the graphics. But with these old Pong systems, I'm just, you know, that's like extra work that I'm not sure anybody really cares that much about. Especially because the signal itself isn't that great, so making the display better is just not going to look all that good. So let me move the camera around. I'll start showing you the games, and you know, they probably won't work very well, but we'll just at least take a look at them. Also, this came with a gun. It's a shooting gallery game, so it came with this pistol that wires in. I don't think this works. I mean, it probably has like a light in there, maybe, or it just captures what's on the screen. It looks at the screen. It's looking for the vertical blank. So when the old screens used to draw the screen out line by line, there was this extra information that you didn't see that went by, you know, very quickly to the human eye. The human eye just didn't see it, but it contained additional information, and it was probably just like a blob of some sort that, you know, was reflected on the screen of where something was, and the gun could actually see that. So the gun would see that you're aiming at that spot on the TV, and it would register as a hit. This won't work unless it's on a regular TV, because you need those scan lines that kind of go across so you can see the vertical blank. The digital conversion won't usually have that, but I will at least demonstrate the game and the gun, etc. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, so unfortunately, this is about the best display that I'm going to get out of this right now. I think I have to experiment with different switch boxes, and I'm not even sure that's really what the problem is. This should be in more of an orange color as well, but there's just a lot of electrical interference right now, and so, you know, this is just... But I also think, like, this is just a demonstration of a crappy game system, so you're not really going to miss that much about it. Essentially, this is like what the pinball game looks like, and I'll try and launch it. I'm not even sure how to fire the ball. There it goes. And then I just, like, hold the paddles up, basically, and, like, I don't even know where the ball just went. Did the ball go away? Like, I have no idea. Can't see anything, really. Whose turn is it? How do you know? There's probably instructions somewhere. Like, somebody online probably wrote instructions for this. Hold the right paddle and the left button, then let go, and the ball will go. But, you know, and this is 2-player, which is advanced. I just reset it, so let's try it again. There goes the ball. And basically, I'm just holding in so the paddles are always up. And my score is going to go over 99 here in a second. And the sound is actually coming out of the unit and not out of the speakers. A lot of these old ones just had the sound come out of the unit itself. Okay. So I think we can all agree, lamest pinball game ever. My score flipped, and we couldn't even see the ball, and I just held the controllers in. It looks like there's blockers on the sides too, so I don't know. So then there's this shooting gallery mode, which we can look at really quick. I got to plug the gun in. I don't know why the gun has a socket for like 5 wires. It doesn't seem like it would need to be that advanced. But what do I know about old 1970s light gun games? Maybe it really needed all that. I mean, this, you know, I'll show you what the plug looks like. Let's see if you can see that. So it's got five lines in there. You know, one's a ground, one's power. Okay, so let's plug that in. And that does not look like a shooting gallery, so let's reset it. Okay, and then you have this big gun. Yeah. I'm going to press the target button, I guess. There's a target button on the console. Oh. It's lame. It won't work. But imagine it did. Like, you know, it's the 1970s. You shoot at that orange thing that appears on the screen. You get a point if you get it. And it makes that horrible noise. It probably sounded a little bit better when it was, like, you know, new. Although I doubt it sounded much better. Okay, and then there's Shoot the Bear, which is basically, in essence, the same thing. The bear will run across the screen, and then you got to blast it. Hey, I shot it. I don't know how. I don't know, I guess that's the game. You just shoot it once. You hit reset again. I need another bear. Here we go. Here we go. That's it. It's the lamest game ever. And then there's Deluxe Pinball, which, yeah, that's Deluxe Pinball. There must be a mode. Like, there's no level, like, oh, there are these three things on the left. These sliders. What on earth? So if I move this all the way up, let's see what happens. A bunch of bars appeared at the top. Let's move the center one all the way to the top. What does that do? Put some other bars up at the top. It's really weird. Let's move the farthest to the right all the way up. Oh, see, look at that. You can position. So let's move this down. This is really advanced. I mean, if you think about it, a lot of these things are super old. You can position, and I'll show you this screen again so you can see. You can position these blockers or these bumpers where you want them. I'm telling you, this is crazy for like the time this came out. Oh, back up. So what happened was I had all the blockers blocking everything that the ball could get out with. So that's why I ended up with a score of over 100. So that's kind of nifty. You're starting to see a little bit of the color come in too. It's just the way the signal is. I'll fire the ball, or I'll try to, but let's not expect any miracles here. Can barely see anything. Like, where does the ball go? That happens, and it makes that noise, and then the ball... Where did the ball go? Like, it probably went so quick, we didn't even see it. Anyway, you get the general idea. So let me switch back here. Yeah, so Telstar Gemini. So these three sliders, which I thought were just generic scorekeeping, because I mean, you wouldn't think that's electronically controlled. I mean, it doesn't tell you anything about what it's for. But that actually, each one moves one of those lines of bumpers and positions them on the screen. So that's really kind of cool for the time. And you know, you have Shooting Gallery, Shoot the Bear, Deluxe Pinball, Bonus Pinball. Target lets the target come out. Resets the game. Gun control. 1 or 2 players. I think that's what launches the ball or resets it. I don't know. It's not the power button though. And there's a flipper on the left side that doesn't do anything. And then the flipper on the right side works both flippers, which is over here. So it's like, wouldn't you want, you know, 2 flippers, left, right, left, right? You would think, but that's just not how it works. And maybe it's just wired up weird inside. So anyway, we spent enough time on this one. Telstar Gemini, new in the 70s. You know, if you were a kid with the gun and the pinball and the way you could change the pinball around, pretty good. Pretty good system. It works, we'll keep it, but it's really old and it's really rough, but it still does function. So with a little bit of cleanup, yeah, be a good one for the collection. All right, okay, thanks for watching.